this thing where we've kept interest rates high to attract foreign investors so that their money can keep coming in.
Correct.
And then they can keep funding and, you know, keep going round and round and round. We keep going high so that the money can keep going like this. You have designed the market for the money to come like this, right? Why are you expecting it to do anything different?
Okay. Correct.
I've lived long enough to sort of see insecurity around the world that's triggered by high unemployment rates and a young population. But we can't deny that our average population is 17 years old, right? And unemployment rates is also a factor.
Which of the unemployment rates, please?
So in my mind, when you're seeing an increase in insecurity,
So the thing is,
you can't discount the fact that
the thing is,
there's also an increase in
unemployment.
Yes.
I think that AI as a technology will outlast the bubble, obviously. I think that it has value, but it would unravel. I don't know what it is. Maybe China will unravel it. China comes up tomorrow and just does something similar at 10% the cost, and that's it. It's over.
If I could understand and see a customer's cash flow cycle, I could better structure credit. And that way, it's going to be difficult for the guy to default, because I know his cash flow cycle, I can predict it. I've seen the trend for over 6 months, 4 months, a year, and it's easy for me. But the banks don't have that.
The banks don't?
Yeah, I mean, these guys don't use bank POS anymore.
I'm speaking with you. You're growing your customer base and what you have as AUM. Yeah, Ugo Dre and what it's doing. Like, if we sat around this table, it's easy to come to the conclusion that all is well.
Yeah.
But all is not well. It's like a duck at the top of the lagoon, right? That seems is all calm. But it's flapping aggressively. That's how this economy is.
I would say this. I generally believe we had worsening security during the Goodluck administration. And economically, that was a far better time than now.
Hello everyone, welcome to Drinks and Mics, brought to you by Nairametrics. My name is Ugo Dre, and we do this every Friday on this channel, Nairametrics TV, 6 p.m. we go live. Of course, you can watch it anytime you like at your own pace. Just go on our channel, Nairametrics TV. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. And we love to hear from you guys. Check the comment section, drop a comment. Tunji, at least I know, he likes to look and scroll down, see whether you guys said hi to him and stuff. He gives me
Nation's uncle.
Yeah, he gives me a lot of energy.
No. So some guy said the other day that see as Sam intimidated Tunji. I said, how?
I think got into that.
It's now Sam FC, Tunji FC.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. And then for the guys to say, Arnold was kind of quiet today. Arnold was quiet last week, really? You guys didn't notice Arnold took sides? Arnold deliberately was on one side. He didn't want any fire coming to him.
I was on the right side.
All right, special shout out to our sponsors, the Drinks and Mics today. Of course, we've got Lid Drop, who's giving us the drinks you have on the show today, and Mandilas, of course, for everything that you see in here with your support. By the way, Mandilas also gives us some things you see on the backdrop, including the air conditions and stuff. So if you want solid air conditioning, go to Mandilas, and you can get it. Even Toyota cars as well, go to Mandilas and you can get it. Was it Mandilas you got your car from?
Wow.
Sorry.
I have.
Anyway,
what car?
Swan Water as well. Swan, of course, for their water. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys. So as we were saying, we got Drinks and Mics regular Ayokunle on board today. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Happy to be back. Yeah.
I was a little worried when I saw Pelumi coming, because last week there was like people were shouting too much. I saw Pelumi and I was like, oh my god.
I'm not shouting.
It's going to happen again.
No.
Well, it depends on if we have polarizing topics today. Let's see how it goes. Of course, we've got a guest in the house today. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Ugo Dre. My name is Ayokunle Ilesanmi. I call my teeth in banking, and I had a short stint in capital markets industry at FMDQ. And what do I do now? I work for a finance house called Berkshire Finance.
You work or you own or you run?
And I wonder why Berkshire?
Why Berkshire? I saw that.
Yeah, I think for us, we just want to take ourselves very seriously. We're looking for a name at the time that will connote, give us that international flavor. And because myself and my partners, we set out to do things very well, right? We wanted to ensure that we get all our structures right, corporate governance, and we wanted to take ourselves very, very serious. So we're a finance house. We're regulated by central bank, and we do all the old yards around lending, investment, and advisory, financial advisory, if you like. We're about 5 years in business, and we're looking forward to very, very growth and bright prospect in the future.
Fantastic. We will talk about lending at some point. I mean, it's one of our favorite topics on Drinks and Mics. And
Good.
I don't think we've been able to figure it out because Arnold pretends to be a lender. Tunji pretends to be a lender.
Certainly not.
And they really don't just, So I want the real lender to just tell me. Even Sam sometimes pretends to be a lender. So I want people who understand lending and come and break it down. School these men. Yeah. What's going on? But I want us to really start on local. But I mean, just as we're prepping for this session, news dropped that there was looks like there's going to be a setback with the US Iran deal that we all thought was likely to happen. I mean, last time we were here, it was like it's going to happen, but now, guys, is this the calm before the storm or the storm before the calm?
I don't think we said it was not gonna happen. I know I didn't say it was not gonna happen.
No, we said.
I know I said.
I tell you, I know.
No.
It's trying to unwind the trade.
We need to.
I just said one time that when you turn, we turn. So are you?
No, now
you said here that the deal was going to happen.
Well, I think I implied.
We really need to start editor. Are you go back to that buy sell and all that? Play it. Let's hear you say.
I remember thinking and believing that it's not going to last for long. Right, whether I said it was going to happen or not, I cannot recall. I have no recollection of the events in question.
I was drinking it.
But for me, it's just so difficult and so complex to actually come to a deal, and there's so many parties involved, right? And I never ever imagined that whatever deal would happen would actually last long. So I'm not surprised at the U-turn, whether it's Iran, blowing up or exemptions blowing up Kuwait, and then Trump saying, you know what, I'm just going to bomb these guys. There's no surprise here at all.
I think.
Okay, tell me.
This was a war that was lost before it even started.
Lost by who though?
Well, it has to be the US, right? Because if you think about even the nature of the deal that is being touted, you're going to have to pay the Iranians money. They're still going to control the Strait of Hormuz. The stuff you were trying to take away from them in terms of the highly enriched uranium, you haven't gotten out of them. And they still have the ability to continue to build their capabilities, right? So the US has basically gone into a war where it's been exposed as not being that all-conquering army we've always believed it to be. And what that does for you is many times the fear factor is bigger than the actual threats that you can execute, right? There's the favorite saying from Jay-Z is carry a big stick but talk softly, which is what you want to do in terms of diplomacy. Now you've tried to wield the big stick and the big stick has fallen short. When you now layer that on top of the fact that you are now having to pay a price economically on the inflation front in the US, and the midterms are coming, we're beginning to see Republicans lose. I don't see how the US hasn't lost in terms of, this. The time it's going to take to replenish the munitions base that you have is so long as well that if you were to be engaged in some kind of kinetic warfare in the Asia Pacific today, the US is not able to really compete at the level it could have. So for me, there's just, whether strategically, geopolitically, economically, militarily as well, I just think the US has lost its advantage that it had before this war.
I'm dying to hear Tunji's views, but let me go to Ayo first. Because I know Tunji is shaking like, what's this guy saying? Well, Ayo, let's hear your views.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think, there are too many parties here. There's US, there's Iran, there's Israel. I don't think coming to a deal will be any easy at all. We've never thought this would be a walk in the park. And again, for matters like this, like Pelumi rightly said, the US definitely is the big loser here. This closure of Strait of Hormuz and the rest of it is affecting everybody. We've seen CPI today, the US CPI closing at 4.2%. So again, it's not good for everybody, for anybody.
Yeah.
And we believe that something must come true. I don't know.
Tunji?
To be honest, I think I've lost sight of what the war was about to begin with. I'm not entirely sure we all remember what started it. It's now gotten into something we all can't pull out from.
Absolutely.
But we can't all we can't continue. We can't. There's something they say, Yoruba, you can't go forward, you can't go back. You're just here. I think they're just, one day we're all just going to wake up and just forget this thing started, because it doesn't look like there's any middle ground. The deal will not work. America won't just concede. Iran too won't just concede. So one day we'll just tire each other out and we'll just move on with life. So I think even if we all pretend it's not happening, maybe they'll move on. But it's well past its usefulness right now
and
on
there's
both
a sense
sides.
of fatigue that is just
it's way its usefulness on the Iranian side. Its usefulness on the US side. Even the Iranians, that first, hey, we won by not losing. Now it's not like
winning out.
It's like, hey.
But is this also a case of maybe the Iranians themselves a little disintegrated in terms of decision making? It appears that there's really nobody calling the shots now. So doesn't that make decisions difficult?
No. They couldn't persist, or they can't even persist this for too long. So economically, it's a problem. On the economic front in Iran, it's not like it's put together. There's a lot of chaos. So it also helps them to concede as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, they can't just pull back.
Absolutely.
Tunji, I don't quite agree.
Economically.
I think if you look at it, right, they are charging a toll for every.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
So this is a new revenue stream.
Yeah, 100%.
They're getting money from, right?
Yeah.
Which obviously is going to help their fiscal side in a weird way. Then you think about whatever oil they were selling, right, through their shadow fleets that were selling at 65 per barrel. Today is at 95, 100, right? Which means the shadow fleets will price in the same range. And that means they're in a stronger position because they've not wiped out all of their production facilities. Now, I hear you that there might not be, or at least this is what we seem to have been told, that we might not have as organized a structure in terms of decision making internally. And there still continues to be strains in terms of governance where people in Iran are not as pleased with the government. However, I don't think there was a clear strategic outcome that the US had defined by going into this war. I don't know if you heard the statement from Trump when he was on the call with Bibi, where he said he basically saved his ass. He's messed up, largely. So
the world hates you and all that.
The world hates you. So
like
literally,
like that.
so he got sucked into this thing without having an off ramp. So now, how do you get out of it? But before we even think about that, I think we've now entered a new territory. And this point you made around but we'll just continue to live with it. We've entered a new world where we now have zombie wars. And what do I mean by zombie wars?
They're just going to continue. And
Yeah, Ukraine and Russia has been on for 4 years.
Yes.
Right? But and if you think about it, that led to the first uplift in inflation and inflation pricing globally.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So if you think about when we came to these new normal expectations of 3% from what used to be 2.5%, it was because as energy prices plus food prices because of wheat in Ukraine and Russia went up, then we went to new normal of 3%. I think with this Iran situation, right, we're going to have a new normal of somewhere around 4% in terms of US expectations around inflation for at least maybe 2-3 years. So there is an actual shift in underlying economic metrics that are happening because of what I call these zombie wars that just keep going.
So the thing I worry is just like the Ukrainian example. Ukraine has received a bucket load of money since this war started.
Correct.
350B.
Imagine there was no war and that money entered Ukraine.
I mean, but a lot of people have died though.
That's my point. In Iran, it's the same thing. They might be tolling that straight. They might be making a little bit more in terms of oil, but home is
still crap.
is disintegrating.
Yeah.
So that money is new revenue, but it's not solving
Solving the economic issues.
at home.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask them, would you rather just have your economy back and leave this thing? I'm sure they would, but right now they can't just pull back because this is looking like sweet money. So let's see.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that. I mean, the fact that a lot of people see the war from the point of view of the US as, a mistake, right? It also appears even the Iranians themselves don't seem to have their own off-ramp if they want.
There's no
Right?
off-ramp.
They can't. They within them as well. They don't. So they are the optimists there.
All
who
of
saying,
us are in this
Let's try and
table.
sort this out.
Yeah.
They are the diehard guys said no point. So like, at what point do
We're all
we
locked
then
here
say,
together.
so someone, and there's no big boy in the room.
Yeah,
Right? There's
there's no
nobody willing to take a
adults.
fall because if Trump says now, okay, we're done with that, it's gonna be a huge
chaos.
problem for him,
Yeah.
right? And his party. Bibi is already under pressure from the far right in Israel, saying,
Under pressure.
yeah,
Hurry this thing up.
these guys, like, damn, Trump. They're calling us a faisal state. That's not faisal state or whatever. That's not who we are.
But Bibi's moves are very much driven by his political instinct to survive.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
he has existing corruption.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
Yeah.
okay, how do I rally the base?
The base,
so that
yeah.
I divert from these issues
down and continue. And then the polls in Israel actually support the continuation of the war. Like they just, we're here already. Let's just keep. So it's as if, and then the UN is toothless. So there's nobody. And if you look at the UK, the Prime Minister has his own issues.
And what's the guy?
So there's nobody that can talk to Trump.
The
Nobody.
Iranian leader that they killed. What's his name again?
Was it
Khamenei.
Soleimani or Khomeini?
Khamenei. If Khamenei was alive, maybe
Exactly. So that's what some people are. Some people are saying, okay, the one man
that could
who maybe everybody would have listened to. You killed him off.
Because he was battle tested and had been through several situations of this kind of thing.
So he probably would have known how to buy
experience,
time. You know what?
Yeah.
But he's gone.
mobilize the boy to say, guys.
So I don't know. I mean, but so that we can move on.
Yeah.
Well, you see,
What does this
the
mean
market,
in general, though?
The markets, that's one of the things. The market isn't bothered.
Is it?
No,
Is that?
no, I don't quite.
Are we in that world where the market just says, you know what? It has happened. It has happened. Let's just go. Is that it? Because inflation numbers are out 4.2%. Like,
you heard what I said.
It's serious.
You heard what I said.
how does it unravel?
Pre-2022 January, if you listen to the Fed, long-run normalized interest rates or inflation expectations was 2.5%, right? Long-run normalized. By the time we got to 2024, 2025, what the Fed started to say is normalized long-term expectations for inflation is 3%, 3.2, right? That's a 50% jump from 2%, which had been the long-term rate, right? Now, we've gotten to this point today. The inflation reading is 4.2%. And I expect that this will now be the long-run normalized adjusted rate.
But jobs
Yeah,
are
but the
being
inflation
created.
target is still
But latest
2%
jobs
now.
report were
No,
super.
they moved it to 3. They moved it to
Jobs
3.
report was
No, it's
crazy.
moved to 3.
People were crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Inflation-
good.
It was-
Yeah,
it was-
inflation has moved to 3%. But even with that jobs report, let's remember that there's been revisions over the last 12 months.
Oh yeah,
that have taken out about $1 million. No. Every month there's a
But
revision.
there are too many sides to
So,
it.
yeah.
There's also a lot of money coming into the markets right now.
Money from where?
That's the thing. Me too. I don't know.
I hear it's some kind of the money just goes like this. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but
round
you see,
tripping,
my
round
thing is- my
tripping.
thing is globally, I think the money's going to run dry. And it has to, right?
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. So what unravels it?
Inflation keeps going up. The cost of fund, and I'm keep talking about cost of
Yeah, of
capital.
Go to your
The
bond
Fed is
market.
gonna
We have
Look
to
at
keep,
what
we
they're
have to
telling you.
just keep watching this cost of funds.
It's cost of funds creeping up.
It's creeping up. But as long as bond rates are creeping up, as long as bond
Market
rates
is
creeping
going to
up,
break.
30-year mortgages are still at now
6.5%, 6, 7, exactly.
If we don't
This thing is creeping up,
if
right?
we don't see a breakdown in the AI market, which I think is the only thing that can break.
But that's why they're
break us
racing
right now.
to raise capital.
If we don't see a breakdown, if we don't see a breakdown
Everybody knows
there,
what's coming.
if we don't see a breakdown there, then nothing happens.
Yeah. So
Nothing bad happens.
100% with you on that.
Yes, if we don't
Right.
see a breakdown there, jobs will continue to be created.
Why do you say
will
nothing happens?
What do you?
So because right now in the world,
Yeah.
the AI infrastructure
sorry.
is the major stimulant that is keeping the economy, the world going right now. Is the optimism of AI, the anthropic AI,
Usage, everyone's
all of
still
that. That is what is
adapting.
keeping all
Yeah.
of us, optimistic about the future. It's no longer crypto. It's definitely not EV cars. So
I'm looking for an EV car. Bro. This car-
Everybody is, right? It's definitely not those things. But the AI, and that is why I do not, when I hear people speak about an AI bubble, I honestly don't think you want one. Because that will be a meltdown like no other. Because that's the only, that's the last pillar.
That's the last
It's the last
Yeah.
pillar. Once it breaks,
But it's going to break.
No, it
right?
can't break.
So let me just say this very quickly.
Bitcoin?
Let me say this very quickly.
Sorry,
Liquid-
Pelumi,
okay.
you're saying
Yeah.
Bitcoin was.
Yes, I mean the price of the Bitcoin has been slowing down.
Yeah, it's dropped as well. Below
would think
60K
people
or so
are-
now.
Yes, we think
Amen.
there's a round tripping to these AI-led
normally,
but I'll say-
IPO.
Yeah, so I'll say look at the bond, look at the AI bond prices, the CDS prices for SoftBank,
Yeah.
for
Oracle.
They're actually acting up.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I've always said,
And CDS has always been
yeah, and I've always
benchmark
said
of these things.
Yeah, but the pricing at which you go on your CDS tells you
what the market
What the
thinks.
market
default
thinks
is
is the default
potential
pricing.
default,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Probability of default, and so it's looking like
looking shaky.
Yeah, so it looks like the bond investors or the bond market doesn't trust AI.
Yeah.
And on a long duration, as in on a long
so,
term.
which is why if you go check what's happened for the first time since its IPO, Alphabet, originally known as Google, went to raise 82.5 billion.
Yeah.
Right?
In that.
No equity.
equity. Nobody's doing debt anymore.
So the bond market is telling you, because if
Yeah.
a company that's generating free cash flows of over 100 billion, right, is saying I'm not going to the bond markets and I want to go get equity
for capex.
for capex.
Yeah.
You need to pay attention.
I saw an FT report recently, and I think we'll flash it on the screen, where they basically analyzed the free cash flow of all the major companies,
Yeah.
the Magnificent Seven or so, and shockingly,
Magnificent Seven.
yes, it was only Amazon that had the positive free cash flow.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Amazon doesn't
because of
have
AI spending.
Only
I was shocked.
Amazon.
Only Amazon.
No, it
Google
will
had
have-
negative. Microsoft had negative.
Everyone. Google will go negative this year based on the capex slightly.
Yeah, based on capex. Yeah, I'll look for that.
I think it probably will only be Apple that's going to be positive. Amazon,
I said
I think
all of
it's
them.
Okay.
Only Amazon, based on that analysis.
Okay. I would like
So
to see the
if
cut
this
off, yeah.
unravels,
Yeah. No, it's going to unravel. So let me take it. Let me take a strong take. Let me take a strong take.
Guy.
No, me?
Why you didn't just negative?
I don't know. Him and Arnold.
See, the thing is, for me, it's always my view on the market or of the world is what happens when the money runs out, because the money will always run out, right? We're coming from an era where credit was funding everything else, and if you look at credits, right, if we're sticking to the US market, you're actually seeing that there's a bubble that's about to explode in credits, where American savings rates are all-time low, right? So what you're seeing is you are living in a world where credit is funding lifestyle, right? And then this cost of credit that keep going on, cost of fund. The US, the bond market, the sovereign bond market always shows you, because credit prices is a spread on sovereign prices.
Yep,
right.
Absolutely.
Corporate credit, whatever credit.
Yeah.
So if bond prices, if sovereign bond prices keep going up, naturally the credit prices will keep going up
as well.
Right. So what you find is the credits we're going to end up going into inflation going up. US maybe raising rates, hiking happens. Regardless, bond prices are going up. Credit price, corporate credit, consumer credit goes up. It gets to a point where things get too expensive. Yep. You're seeing credits also fund equity. Right. Regardless, I talk about margin trading. People borrowing to buy stocks. They're borrowing credit to buy stocks. Yeah. It's going to get too expensive. Where you're going to say, okay, if I'm going to borrow this amount of money, what's my stock market expectation to justify where I'm borrowing from? And that's what you're going to see.
But I think the world is primed to find money from somewhere, because that's what I think we generally just underestimate. There is still money in this world.
Yeah, but
so no, there's still money. No, I don't know where they are seeing it.
Show me, bro.
I don't know where they are seeing it. But the thing is, the only times we've seen that fully play out is when there's an underlying malfunction within the market. Subprime, for instance, that was everything else was going bad, but subprime was under it and just pulled everything down.
Yeah,
we saw before. Was it?
There's overinvestment right now.
Who started QE?
That was under. That was George.
Helicopter Ben.
That was Helicopter Ben. Yeah, under Helicopter Ben.
No, but wasn't Ben Bernanke that started QE?
It was
just after Paulson. Paulson in the 700B.
Paulson was going in
Then Bernanke came.
Now, if you look at market dynamics at the time when QE was put into the market, we were heading in the same direction, but we just found money from somewhere, pumped the market. Market was all right.
I think my point is,
you can't. What you must realize is that everybody is not. They are not sleeping, right? No. If we get to that point, we are pumping. We know this market. We all know that we are heading towards the ledge.
And then when we get there,
we'll get the parachute. Right, and we know that money is in many places. You get, and I think for lack of many examples, like when Trump went to the Arab guys, just by showing up, the amount of money he came back with. Now, I'm not saying that they are the saviors of the world, but I'm saying there's still money lying in several corners of the world that can be pushed into the market if we need to.
See, a lot of that money.
But also some of that money, right, that we're used to. With foreign funds buying US treasuries is what we used to.
Exactly.
That stuff is also drying up.
So guys are reducing their exposure to US treasury, and they are switching straight into gold.
Where will you put it?
So which is why you've seen a significant. That's why you've seen a significant appreciation
in gold
of gold prices over the last 2 years, and you're seeing commodities continue to spike.
We can't all drop our money into gold.
No, but what I'm saying is people are...
We all know how volatile gold is can be. We can't all drop our money into gold.
Are we saying...
Are we not here?
Are we saying equities are not volatile?
No, not like gold. Gold can rally 300%
and just crash.
I just crash.
But guys, why do you keep looking at me?
Because we are the gold, bro. Gold is that thing that, today is pumping. Is going hard, rallying hard, and then all of a sudden, like this, you just like
$100 something.
So it got to 5.2 and came back.
Yeah. So the thing about gold is, I always say, and I'm saying that. So my thing now is, in a crisis, gold gets used, right? So you buy gold for the crisis, right? So, and it's you know, it's a crisis. You're in trouble. Things are falling apart.
Crisis
The gold
asset.
you have, yes.
Yeah, you can quickly
sell
put
your
your,
gold.
but you will not keep it there.
your
As
gold.
you're looking at the gold, your body is just doing you like,
Because at the end of the day, gold doesn't generate revenue, right? So it's just
There's no yield.
It's an asset that used for safety.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about where the money is and what risk lies ahead, now another report that came out this week was that SpaceX is essentially oversubscribed.
Yeah.
By
Yeah,
2x.
say on a same money no day.
I never said. I said what happens when the money runs out. Right? So the money will
I
run
think
out.
we saw.
So what's going on?
So there's
The same thing is
there's
happening
never
in
been-
Nigeria too.
Yeah, so there's not been a bigger. Wait, guys, I think we're taking this lightly, right? There's not been
We
a
are taking it
bigger
right.
bifurcation of wealth
Yeah,
Right.
I agree with you on that.
since the Gilded,
Yeah.
era in the 1920s. And I know,
So-
and I know I'm about to take you back, but I'll stop there. And the issue is
Your mic, though.
okay. The issue is that what you are finding is the guys who already have made so much money.
Have a massive stockpile.
There's a stockpile, and they really are incentivized to keep this going.
Yeah.
Right? So the other day, was it 2 days ago, Ron Barron, who was one of the first big investors in Tesla, who I think has made probably 14 billion off an initial maybe 50, 70 million investment in Tesla, right? Basically, of the 75 billion, he's committed 1 billion to SpaceX, and he's not selling. Right?
Man.
This is just him. Right? And there's many
Is
other
he
guys.
looking to adopt?
And they're just looking for 80 billion.
It's 75, right? So what you're going to find is, of course, then there's the Elon can't fail premium, which people are willing to then say, you know what, I'm going to go into this. Now, do I think the company is a consequential company that is going to change?
Goldman Sachs said revenues go up 100 times.
It is, but if you think about what they said, the opportunities, I think if you've been through the IM, they have this big block, Starlink is doing 11.4 billion. Tesla,
Space launch.
Space launch is doing about 4.5 billion.
AI.
Something. There's the AI bit.
Yeah.
It's the AI that's burning through cars.
AI is
Burning through
it's like
cars.
7 trillion,
Yeah.
7 billion in terms of
So it's
capital.
losing so much money.
Yeah.
Then they say
It's like
there is
1,
this
2, 7.
opportunity, right? Potential market that is addressable by SpaceX of about another 33 trillion. How much?
From the
What it can be done, in the space
Should
economy.
we know we're talking about?
Now,
this?
the question is, what is the size of the global economy? Right? Because again, the numbers have to just make sense. If you think about when Google went public in 0405, Google went public at a valuation of 80 billion. Right? World GDP was probably somewhere around 30 trillion, right? It made sense. You can see why you can 50x. Where is SpaceX going to find these multiples?
QE.
Right? So maybe there's going to be some QE in space. There's going to be some space
No,
QE.
I think there will be QE, but apart from this,
He's saying that they want to build data centers in Mars. They want to build data centers in
And those are very ambitious.
yes,
very,
and
very
so if you build data centers in those places, then that would basically create all the output that you're looking for.
But he's already
could
beginning to
increase
see
GDP as well.
I don't even like the what do they call it again? The Starlink, Abi.
Yeah.
Starlink.
Beginning to see a lot more people even in Nigeria that acquire.
Yeah,
I've been using it for like
massive.
2 years.
You know,
plus now.
and you're seeing people who
That's all we use it,
I think it was Mr. Beast or something, gave them free publicity talking about the fact that's all he
Yes,
uses.
Starlink is-
That if
an attraction.
if the plane doesn't use it,
No,
that
so
all those things.
But also the thing about
those
Starlink
businesses
as well
are
is-
good businesses, but
Yeah.
Is the
what is
valuation.
giving him the valuation is the AI.
AI.
Yes.
That's all the
Usage of the
But that's the thing. Everybody understands that AI is burning cash right now because it's a drive to, who really dominates the market at the end of the day. So I think everybody kind of understands it. And look at it from this perspective, right? Worst case scenario, we strip this away. This is still revenue generating, so we don't entirely lose our money compared to what is just purely an AI play.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
So-
but how much
how
of
much are
this
you
stripping
valuing-
away?
like,
If you're talking about capex, right? So you broke down the capex. Starling capex is like 1 point something. This is the Q1, right? Starling makes sense. It can go up. It can go up. It's the average revenue per user is going down, but that's normal because he's actually now
because people
going
are
into
bringing
cheaper
in,
countries now, right? Okay, now I understand that part. He can get to 10 million, 20 million, 100 million. He can because that's the world population. He's going into Tunji's favorite area, the grey economy. Everybody can have internet. SpaceX. As in the rocket stuff, he might end up doing a space station. We've seen it before. It is looking possible there. But regardless, the capex.
We have seen it before.
You know what I'm trying to say, right? Regardless, capex for AI is like 7 times the combination of both of them.
But that's the thing,
So
right?
how much are you going to write off?
But look at it side by side, the Anthropic burn, OpenAI burn. Look at it side by side, those burns, right?
Just hold on.
You get he's not doing anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
No, but his
But-
burn is higher.
No, compared to the other two
Burn is
guys,
serious.
he now has extra revenue outside the AI.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually
Absolutely.
create AI and to send someone to space.
Yeah.
Yes, now.
What did you say? What did you say?
I'm saying it costs more.
Yeah.
So here's what I think.
build
To
the
wrap
AI
to wrap
and
this
to send
to wrap
someone
this
to
segment
the
up.
space station.
I think that
And colonize Mars.
AI as a technology will outlast the bubble. Obviously, I think
certainly.
that it will outlast the bubble. I
Just
think
like
that
the internet outlast the
yes,
dot-com bubble.
yeah. I think that it has value, but for some reason, the world is just looking for where to put money in, and the story is just fantastic, and so they're happy to put a lot of money in there. It would unravel. I don't know what it is. Maybe China will unravel it. China comes up tomorrow and just does something similar at 10% the cost, and that's it. It's over, right?
But even China has just
bigger
put
scale.
300 billion into supporting AI just yesterday.
Oh,
So this is now, it's now gone, it's gone global, in
Yeah.
terms of just the funding support that exists for AI.
But I've seen some of these tech company PE ratios like 1,000.
Yeah.
It's just-
easy.
it's just
It's
crazy.
like, man,
Just
Easy
what's
money.
going on here?
It's pets.com again.
Yeah, so it's
anyway, guys, we come down to local macros.
Yes.
We had some numbers up during the week. One that was interesting was Nigeria's foreign trade data was out, and looks like this is yet another quarter of surplus in trillions. What I'm trying to figure out is, because sometimes you read through this data and you really don't know how to start ask yourself, how do you interpret what's going on? We're seeing exports go up, imports go down. And someone cynical told me, I say cynical because it might sound cynical, it says with imports going down is also symptomatic of an economy that is under some kind of strain. So import is not going down because productive capacity is increasing. Import is going down because we just don't have the purchasing power to sustain it. So that is a problem. I don't know whether you guys feel that way.
Me, I don't agree because I know that everybody's going to say things now. I don't.
Tunji, very disconnected.
The good times are rolling now.
No. And I say this because in football, especially people that do football, these tacticals, they call something the eye test. Apart from you look at the person's statistics, there's the eye test where you watch him.
Which football?
Is American football?
Normal footy.
Because I don't know.
Not soccer, football.
So the eye test, I've not seen us have as many EV cars in circulation as I've seen of recent.
Lack of
Isn't
imports.
EV cars are cheaper?
It doesn't matter.
EV
Lack
cars
of
are
Whether
imports.
it's
Let him-
EV cars
let him-
or Tokubo cars, we've been seeing more cars coming into the country. That's my point. more EV cars are being on, even from the ride hailing down to individual buying of EV cars. We've been seeing a lot more of those.
But isn't that because they're cheaper than regular?
It doesn't matter now whether it's cheaper or not. People are importing more. That means there's still some money somewhere.
Absolutely.
Right?
Correct.
And we all agree at some point that there was a whole substitution in terms of domestic demand, in terms of all these things like cereal, soap, all those kind of things. Very few people still buy the top tier brands in terms of those imported brands. In fact, most of those companies have now started producing in Nigeria.
Right.
Even the EV cars are compiling, what do they call that thing? Coupling the cars here. So we're seeing a lot more of those things. So the micros are not great, but let's not tie that it is bad at the bottom to the numbers that people are importing more. People are importing more.
Yeah, but I think I would
numbers is saying
to the extent that what's the component of the import bill for starters? I mean, when you look at it year on year,
I look now.
What we see is that this is probably driven by the Dangote effect. Right? Obviously, import bill on PMS has crashed. I think about
that's even major,
96%
angle.
So, and I think that's major, right? So for me, I'd like to see the other component of the import bill. You're correct. Pockets are thinning out. I'm not sure people are going for the top tier Kellogg's and all of that.
Who they buy them again?
I'm
any longer, and then people are looking inward.
Who, me?
No, Ayo, because Ayo, you provide credits.
Yeah.
So you feel the pulse of the economy firsthand. And so what are you seeing in terms of credit evolution that tells you whether or not there's confidence in the economy at a micro level?
Look, I'm saying, to be fair, we are seeing a bit of strain.
Strain.
Yeah. Strain. A lot of borrowers are coming in for one or two things. There's strain at the lower end of the market. I think for us, because we do a lot of cherry picking on the type of borrowers we want to see, and we want to do business with, we are very, very comfortable with people that are not too susceptible to economic shocks. And but for the lower end of the market, what I can say at this point is there's strain generally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me, I also see the lower end of the market, and they save with me, or save through me. I honestly can't explain the numbers. They've increased.
Yeah, but I think
people have explained to me though. People have explained to me though that there might be an angle to it that the everywhere is so bleak that they are like, wait, who?
I don't even think that's the angle. I think the angle is that
man will die.
I think the angle, the angle, if I was to explain your own angle, is that you're at the early stages.
It's a product.
It's a new product. So and people didn't have where to put that in. Do you understand?
So you need some cycle to go through to actually be able to.
So the key thing is that at some point it plateaus. Then when it plateaus, then becomes,
how are you able to get
so for the growth to now happen, you now need to see economic growth actually happen.
And how I will be measuring it, right? By the time you get to that, what I will call semi-maturity in terms of adoption, is the way the guys in telco will look at what's your ARPU, which is what's your average revenue per user, right? In the same way will be how much is the average contribution per client on your side, which then tells you if that is growing on an annualized basis, it tells you that there's economic growth at that segment of the market, right? Because I just know how much more texts I get for Oga, I need support. I just know. It's gone up. And you know this, Tunji, all of us here, right? So
probably like 50x.
So I think there is, and it goes back to the point I was saying.
Are we talking about Nigeria's microeconomic?
Yes. And I'm saying, like, don't you feel like you get more people asking you for
and don't you feel
for
help?
Don't you feel
that the level of insecurity is a tell as well? I mean,
Not
you
really.
don't think it's a tell?
No.
I don't get that.
No, the
Like,
insecurity has
Nothing to do with.
It has its many undertones. There's poverty. There's
multi-dimensional.
It's multi-dimensional. So you can't use one lens to look at it. It's very, very multi-dimensional.
There's that. But I also feel that just if you look across, you're driving down.
So I don't know. So I think generally, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. There might be angles that I don't know. Right? I think that, I've lived long enough to sort of see insecurity around the world that's triggered by higher unemployment rates and a young population. Right? And I know that we like to also add a few things on top of it. So that's what they did in the Arab Spring. Right? But we can't deny that our average population is 17 years old. Right? And unemployment rates is also a
factor.
A factor, right? So
which of the unemployment rates, please?
So in my mind, when you're seeing an increase in insecurity,
so the thing is,
you can't discount the fact that
the thing is,
there's also an increase in
unemployment.
Yes,
I would say this, and I'll say this, right? I don't think insecurity.
Yeah.
I generally believe we had worse insecurity during the Goodluck administration. And economically, that was a far better time than now.
The dollar do you have data supporting this?
Yes.
No, yes. I'm giving you dollar to naira.
Share the data.
No, wait now. Dollar to
insecurity part is what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying insecurity.
You're saying there was worse insecurity then.
Let me first. This was the times we had the Niger Delta Avengers. Can everybody remember them? That were blowing up pipelines. That's what.
That was some agitation.
At those points, we lost large regions of Nigeria to insecurity. There were flags that were planted as there was one country something at some point that people were, those points we had mass scale. Now it's multiversited at this particular time. It's even wider spread now. But at those points, those were the consistent bombings that we're experiencing at that time. Now, I'm not comparing that time and this time's insecurity, which one is better. I'm saying then it was a lot more louder.
Correct.
But the economy at that time was a lot better than it is now.
Yeah, okay. So I think the point I want to put forward is, yes, we see some decent improvements in the macros, but these numbers are not very inclusive, right? And when I look at population is growing, right, a lot faster than GDP, GDP growth rate, and there's a lot more Nigerians moving from the poverty to multi-dimensional poverty, right? I think these are the things that are stoking insecurity around kidnapping.
So you have to look at poverty rates. Yes.
People need to survive.
Yeah, you can't ignore those things.
I think there's a correlation.
Thank you.
So let me just lay on and so that we can go to the next topic. Wait, see.
How can I not quote the poverty rates?
There's something in accounting, right?
Sorry, guys.
In my past life as an accountant, right?
Yeah.
Where when you're looking at and control weaknesses, you say there's two checks you have. Is something material, right? Is something pervasive across your systems? Now, if it's material, it means it can be significant, but it's contained to one part of your operations, right? Or your books. Is it pervasive? Is it going across? Two significant risks, but two distinct ones. When you now have material and pervasive risks, then you're really, really treading in really troubled waters. And during the Jonathan time, I think we had a material issue of insecurity that was quite contained in the Niger Delta, right? Now it is material and pervasive where it's across the country and it's material that it affects business operations and even economic decisions. So that's really what it is. So that's the way I've looked at it. And I think, we really cannot discount that from the poverty levels we're at.
Correct. Tunji, you have to
counter.
On that.
Counter.
No, so my thing is, I agree with everything he said until the point where we bring poverty into the conversation.
But the conversation is about poverty.
Is it that you don't believe that there's poverty?
No.
I'm not.
I'm not
relating
levels
to
and
poverty.
I say-
They are correlated.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. But I think let's not oversimplify it to poverty. There is poverty, no doubt. I agree there is pervasive poverty. It's deep, it is biting, it's in your face.
Yeah.
But let's not just narrow it to just poverty. There is the forces in terms of how we can rely upon them. There's our own security infrastructure across the entire country. There's the failing of the government on many levels. There's so many, it is a multidimensional risk to this conversation, to this thing. So if we, because poverty in itself is an input.
The lack of budget for the army is not in my mind. It's not an input for insecurity.
Why?
Correct.
It's not an input.
Why?
let me.
Why?
How do you mean?
Why? How?
The formula is poverty, is unemployment rate, it's young population.
We just spoke about Ukraine needing how many billion
350 B for
to fight a war. Mm-hmm. Why do we think that our military doesn't need more money?
No, I'm saying the lack of funding is not an input into insecurity.
At the root cause.
Yeah, it's not.
Right?
It's not a lack of a war budget.
Why? I mean, last week or was it earlier this week? Boko Haram guys went on TikTok and were doing giveaway. Really? And people were putting
incredible.
People were.
That thing is true. Is it true?
Well, I didn't see that.
People went.
I saw the after stories.
They went on TikTok and they were doing giveaways and gave over 50 million naira away.
To who?
Nigeria
account numbers.
Went
Is that
there
true?
and
Yes.
put the account numbers.
Yes.
Oh wow.
You guys are disconnected.
So that's poverty. You know how crazy in a present state as this, people still go and they put their accounts for that. So it's just crazy.
So this is Boko Haram doing conditional cash transfer. No. I don't believe that.
I saw the story.
Is it true though?
I saw the story.
It's on X. Just go to X and you see there.
No, I don't believe that.
I actually saw a story of one guy that was one of the people that they gave money to. But these days everybody's trying to create content to generate, to farm followership. So he was like, they're asking him to bring money now. That they only gave him 100K, that they've told him to bring 100 million. So he was begging Nigerians to help him. I was like, go and return the money. But the thing is, those kind of conversations, you wonder how they were able to transfer, if it did happen, how they were able to transfer that kind of money within a banking infrastructure and nobody was able to, spot where the money was coming from.
No. Why won't it happen?
No, I just cannot believe that.
Because I mean, you think it's going to show Boko Haram Incorporated or something as the account
because
is coming
how are you going to
from?
do it? He's correct.
No, you just basically
It'll take a while.
They just tell you
this.
They might block
let's not go
many people's accounts.
into security issues.
Yeah, correct.
And I would like to see who they blocked the
So
account
back to what I was saying. I mean, if we're running on trade surpluses, as it is that a positive for the exchange rate?
By default, yes, because what you're always trying to look at is what's your balance of trade, what's your balance of payments, right? And yes, you want the mix to show increasing productivity at home, but fundamentally, what's your headline number? If you're spending less on imports than the numbers are pretty straightforward, right?
Exactly.
And
it's supposed to be good for economy.
that's that long term, right?
I know we're running trade surpluses for since 2020.
I'll probably take it from the imports cover point
side
of view.
as well.
Yeah.
And so that's why you see, we've touched this 50 billion threshold. The CBN is celebrating, even though we need to decompose.
Are they celebrating?
Well, they seem to be. I saw it on the front page of this day. Someone
That's front page on newspaper doesn't mean
It's CBN celebrating.
We will see, but 50 billion. We'll see how that. I would like to see the composition of what makes up those reserves. personally.
So now this takes me to another area, and which essentially is a report that also came out last week. We touched on it last week, and you guys are here, so maybe let's get your views. We saw capital importation numbers come out, $10 billion inflow, Q1, highest ever in any first quarter of the year.
Yeah.
Already we're in Q1, we're doing half of what we did the entire of, at least nearly half of what we did the entire 2025. But 90%, 95% of that money when it's FPI.
Exactly.
And 90% of that FPI is money markets. Is this a bet on, is this foreign investors saying, we like your debt, we don't like your country?
Essentially, that's what they're saying. I mean, like your bet. If you look at the NGX,
they like our debt. They just
we like your asset, we don't trust your currency.
Yes, exactly. And there are so many. Is
that what it means?
Factors to that.
Yeah. So that's that for me.
Because if they're not doing FDI, so does it mean they don't like our currency or what?
No.
No. I mean, there are a lot more other areas to look at. I mean, there's certainly political risk at this time. We're in the political season. There are legal risk. As to setting up anything. I don't know what is happening in the investment promotion agencies and things like that. But I think the returns are high. Why would I, if I'm a portfolio investor, why would I bring funds into the country and try to set up manufacturing plant and all of those kind of things? I think that I probably want to play safe first, given the times that we're in. And I think that's what we're saying. And I think it's a rational decision, really.
Yeah, I mean, it means so many things, right? And I mean, there's no reason for me to repeat what you said, because you hit the nail on the head. It's, I trust you short term. I don't know what the long term is like, right? So let me just stay in a very liquid situation. Because on the long run, you're seeing insecurities, you're seeing everything that we're talking about, right? So it's uncertain. The long run is very uncertain. So if I'm in almost on 90 days now, almost 90 days at 20%.
Yeah, it's a simple carry.
It's a simple carry.
And that's brilliant.
When the currency is stable.
No, but wait, this thing is going to play against us.
But is it also possible that we built this market the way it is looking?
And we've been talking about this. We built it now.
That's what we did.
How do you mean we built it?
Because we've made it attractive for what it is doing.
Exactly. So
we've designed it to do what it's exactly doing. So when we are saying they don't trust, how would they trust? Wait.
But the question is, how do you push?
This is further annoying. When do you try to psychoanalyze, look for some reason that doesn't make any sense about something?
This last, was it 2 or 3 shows ago, we were talking about the same matter on
FPI.
We've
been talking about it for years.
When we're talking, I think it was even when Sam was this thing where we've kept interest rates high to attract foreign investors so that their money can keep coming in.
Correct.
And then they can keep funding and keep going around and round and round. We keep going high so that the money can keep going like this. You have designed the market for the money to come like this, right? Why are you expecting it to do anything different?
Okay.
Correct.
So you're correct that this is
I agree with you on that.
This is a design issue.
We're in EHM market.
But you see what I said.
I wish Billy was here because this is what I keep telling him.
It goes back to the point I made when we spoke about just 5 minutes ago. I said, what is the decomposition of those reserves, right? What is sitting in those reserves today? Is it money that we've gotten?
I mean, our exports are up now. You said it now. Balance of
No. I didn't say. No. Wait. Your imports are down.
Not that your exports are up.
Your imports are down.
I mean,
on a sequential basis.
So let me tell you something that's about to happen, right?
Yeah.
So as US inflation keeps going up and the cost of funds keep going,
you then have to either increase.
So what will happen is they need to increase or they're going to lose the carry.
And then,
so what we need to now figure out is what do we need to do now to push the risk further? So now the exactly. So this 90-day 20% or more now goes into a longer dating.
The problem is that you guys are now drug addicts.
You're used to that pill.
Yes, on cheap drugs.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
How are you going to wean yourself off this this free, easy, cheap money that just
asked-
keeps coming and going out.
Yeah, but sorry, I mean, myself and my partner would debate this thing at the office, and we think, why are we so reliant on this FPI?
But you know why?
Why
now.
why can't we develop?
I mean, like, is that not what's giving you FX liquidity?
you don't need to do
develop
much
your
now.
what?
Yeah, develop.
You know what it is?
Yeah,
In the market where people don't like, where people like Arnold don't like T+1.
I love T+1.
I asked
See, Arnold is changing his mind now.
months ago.
He likes T+1. Oh. But let's go on.
That's a daily issue. 2 years ago, the deputy governor for monetary policy, who's now deputy governor for corporate services, and I asked him and I said, I can see through what you guys are doing, trying to attract these FPIs. And at the time, Omo was running at 25%, right? In 2024.
that was at the start of the. Okay.
Which made sense at the time.
At the
because
time,
you also wanted real positive interest rates. Yeah.
So they were doing that. And I said, how are you going to unwind this? And he said, we're trying to get the right FDI and all of that to come in so that over time we can start to swap out this hot money for long-term money. But you see, fundamentally, and which is why this insecurity issue is very personal for me, is the way Nigeria is being treated by institutional investors is like, we're happy to date you, but we're not willing to marry you yet.
If you don't make yourself marryable, nobody will marry.
That's the point.
That sounds like Arnold, though.
No, you didn't just do that.
So which part is it? I'm happy to date, but not married yet.
I don't know what you're saying now.
Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, but like the point is,
But let me
I
just
felt that one.
let me make my point.
Yeah.
We develop export-led sectors.
Yeah.
So export-focused
It just makes things worse.
I don't know what direction I'm in.
Sorry, something just happened. Sorry, let's take it.
Okay.
Something just happened.
this was not directed at you in any
Something
way,
just
shape, or
happened. Like,
form.
Yes,
Arnold.
Me?
Okay.
How? I didn't say a word.
This was not directed at you in any way, shape, or
Yeah,
form.
like let's read.
Let's reset.
Yes,
Let's reset.
You wanna go up a little bit?
No, but your point is made, and I agree, right? It's
You
I'm happy
gotta
to date, but
agree.
not marry you yet.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what's going on because you're not marriage material.
At this
Are you even spouse material?
What?
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Anyway, Arnold, let's go.
I said something before.
Yeah. So I think the point I was making is, why don't we look at developing?
I mean, just one of us that is single here. That's why. That's what I mean.
We don't have to do this.
Oh, you.
I mean, it's like I think we're actually doing it. Like, what's going on?
No, I'm just trying to like put things into context. But I mean, sorry.
So our export sectors, right? Like I mentioned, the cocoa industry, the cocoa farmers, the rubber processing businesses, and then come up with a central coordinating agency where.
No, not another agency.
Oh, man.
No way, man.
No, just chill now.
I
heard that.
After these products locally,
Okay.
and then
No.
for
So you see,
off-takers abroad.
So like the
And then-
Ghana Cocoa Board.
exactly,
No,
yeah,
but,
something like
no,
that.
but the thing is this: the energy we put into attracting FPI, if we put that energy into anything else,
And yeah, developing
It will work.
local
But I
capacity.
don't. Were you guys at the Invest Lagos Summit? You see, you were in there.
No.
I wasn't.
I was in
The funny
You
thing
were in
is,
there.
the funny thing is, all the local guys were in
You
there,
had a
right?
session, didn't you?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
no,
No,
but I saw you
a lot
there.
of local
I
investors
saw
were
you on
there.
TV.
There was a state governor though. My own state governor came out.
Abia State.
No, Imo state governor,
Wow,
and
interesting.
he said that Imo represented innovation meets opportunity. And I'm like, And then he also said they have 24 hours.
Is this on the renewed hope presidential
I really
fund?
don't
That's where the
know.
innovation is
I
opportunity.
really don't know. He also said there's 24/7 power, by the way, in the state. I don't
Maybe
need that.
maybe it means
Yeah, but when I read the comment
section,
section
you can't find out.
when I read the comment section, people who were there were like, where?
From where to where?
Maybe in the government house.
But anyway, the point is that so there are a lot of all these things happening.
Yeah.
Invest this, invest this. Something.
No, but they can't work in isolation.
So why is that? Why is that not happening?
Pushing for
They can't. Nothing can
local
work in
capacity
isolation.
At all times.
And somebody also said that, by the way, I think I read another data. I think it was the Association of Telecom Operators or so, or something. They also faulted this MBS data because they said, come on, it can't be $300 million or so that came in as FDI in Q1. That it was a lot more. So is the data? Is it the data that's the problem, or is it how?
When I was saying it here that day, it was as if Tunji was overdoing it. Because I'm saying from the eye test.
We know your history with the MBS.
This is when Tunji. This is
he gets about to get stopped.
This is the point where he sounds like that very old woman. You know, this old woman where they've always been saying you'd be a bad child. All of a sudden,
and finally, you have one mistake
with the principal. And he's like,
I said it.
No proof.
But I did say it here that if for me, because when
are you saying the
GDP
MBS is not correct? Their data is not correct.
No, I'm not saying this is not correct. I'm saying that data collection is a science and an art.
Correct.
It's garbage in, garbage out. If you design it to collect just the bottles on this table, it will collect just the bottles on this table, irrespective of all the other bottles in this building.
But what do you expect? So data collection is,
but
if you look at capital importation data,
job of the professionals who sit in the MBS.
So capital importation data is sourced from the amount of inflow that comes through banks. So except when these investments are coming in their line, they are not saying exactly what it is for. So what are they going to do?
It's pretty straightforward now.
Yeah.
What doesn't come through CCI?
Because it's tied to what the banks report. It's CCI now. So except maybe when the money is coming as an FDI, you say it's an FDI. For whatever reason, I don't know. And I think people also say is that sometimes the money is probably somewhere. It's probably in a, maybe for example, one of these tech companies says, oh, we got an investment of $2 million. And then the money goes into some account in the US, in Delaware, and then never really comes in here.
No. So there's another.
What about that?
That in itself. That in itself is critical information. So I remember that during Dr. Kale's tenure in the MBS, that was when we separated job data, unemployment data from unemployed and underemployed. Because obviously, if you go by International Labour Organization standards, the employed data should be a lot higher because the basic thing is 1 hour per week you are employed. And in Nigeria, we understand that people who are selling recharge card on the streets, you can say that's employed by those criteria, but are they really employed? So you want to look at it and, craft the data for your environment and your situation. And in this case, these conversations, we know that there are a lot of things outside this job data, but because you have refused to acknowledge them for what they are, but they are in the economy. So the people that, for instance, raise capital from Silicon Valley and the rest, let's just that as a side. First of all, where the money, when it comes into the country, a lot of them come in through legitimate routes. Some don't. And those ones that don't come in, but you still know it came in, right? You discount that from the economy, Abi. But this is happening on a consistent basis. And this is just one sector of the economy. Talk less of the other side. So if you disregard that, you're not capturing the economy as a whole. And the job for the statisticians in the house is to be able to look at what the book says and what does Nigeria say. And be able to find a middle ground where your book can capture what Nigeria is saying and then put it side by side.
Is it the middle ground or the correct ground?
No, the middle ground. So for instance, there are countries in Europe that capture illegal activities. We know now, they know that this illegal activities enters the economy.
Correct.
I'm not saying do that in Nigeria.
But I have to capture it.
Bam! I'm saying that is they know that this illegal activity cannot leave their country. It is part of their economy.
So you're saying that based on, for example, the tech situation where These tech guys are
By the way, the tech was an over-explanation, but because I knew that was what was going to
So you're saying that based on the tech situation, for example, where these businesses are they run here, owned by Nigerians, but
raise capital offshore.
Capital outside, and it stays offshore, and a little bit trickles in.
Not a little bit, everything trickles in.
But it doesn't come in as capital importation. That's the point. So think about it. Okay. So the tech company needs 100 million naira here. It needs to sell maybe $80,000.
Yeah.
It sells it there, and then somebody credits here. It doesn't come in as capital importation.
So what does it come in as? Oh, it can come in as nothing. It's nothing.
No description because no description.
Let me give you a real example.
It's just local investment.
You know many of those SMSs you realize you those.
Yeah, it's just local investment.
There are brokers everywhere that will just send you a message that there is $30,000
for sale
in US.
Wells Fargo.
You buy it for Naira.
Yeah.
Baba.
A lot.
We see on this WhatsApp group now.
There's a lot of cash that, there's a lot of peer-to-peer that is happening now.
Sorry, I don't trust this.
He's a regulated man.
You see it happening. So that is even a very tiny percent of what is going on. I'm saying there's so much happening within the economy that you just ignored. And it almost feels like you're ignoring it deliberately.
So I think there's probably also a huge informal FX inflow out there that we don't really capture.
100%.
Especially on the FDI front, because it's just inconceivable that how can you just $3 million in a quarter out of $10 billion in FX inflow? Because that to me suggests it's an all-round failure of government. In fact, we did an analysis from.
Why is your voice low now?
It is. From 2000. No, it's a failure of governance. Yeah, from 2023 to date.
He said government or governance. He changed the
everything. From 2023 to date. I don't think we've seen. I think in total probably $1.4 billion.
In what?
In FDI.
No, hasn't it gone up with Bonga? The FID
it's
on
all
Bonga?
audio money. It's all agreements. Nothing is unlocked.
No. I know there was the. I know there was the audio from India, from UAE, but
official statistics
that has come through.
Capital importation, total amount of FDIs is 1 billion dollars. That's official records.
Official records.
Yes.
Okay, no, you're correct, because I know the FID on Bonga.
In total,
North is 10B, but not all of that's coming here. So you're correct.
10B USD.
10B USD
10
for
billion.
the FID for
it's
Bonga.
not in yet.
No, but it's not in yet.
It's not in. It's not in.
The FID has been signed, and there's another 10B to come for Bonga.
It's not in, and that's the point we're trying to make here.
No, you're correct.
So that's why. So it's either the data is not properly captured, as Tunji suggests, or
it's not
just complete failure.
It's Tunji knows.
Yeah,
it's not properly captured. It's not properly captured.
So how do you capture that properly?
No, because this is what I want to know. Is that what is the grey?
So how do you capture it properly?
The black market inflows.
Because if you can capture on the FI side for your fixed income, right? Yeah. And you can see clearly on the FPI side. Why can't we do the same on the FDI side?
Why can't we do the same on the?
Because on the FPI side, I'm capturing that fully.
Yeah, but the FPI side is easy now because the guys are buying your money market.
And I agree with you.
We'll just give you an example for FDI now.
Plus FDI comes in through custodians.
I'm with you. I agree with custodians, the bank is clear. So what I'm saying is, we are complaining, right? We don't like this.
Yeah.
So how do we fix it to be able to capture that properly?
So, I think that the first thing you need to do is tie it to taxation or corporate filings. So, because typically when you're filing your financial statements, right, and you have an inflow coming in, okay, most of the inflows that you get that are tied to investment, you find on your liability side, right, as either deposit for shares or investments. So I guess that's to Tunji's point, how you capture the data. So if the data is captured, if you look at what is the increase in share capital for
a lot of companies, excluding retained earnings for a lot of companies this period over a prior period, and look at that whole aggregate number.
That movement.
Between that and then, that will give you a semblance of what's happening. Because this also suggests, for example, that if you look at the MBS data says we attracted the bank recapitalization. In fact, CBN data said bank recapitalization. I think was it 70% or so was it.
Was altogether was 4 billion, no?
Yeah, 4 trillion. 4 trillion naira or so.
Then
80% local,
20% foreign.
Now, if you look at the MBS data for foreign direct investment equity in 2024, the total was roughly $600 or so million.
The whole year.
Which is not unreasonable.
Yeah. And then 2025 total. Hold on.
Strip out the 4 trillion, Abi.
And
$4 trillion
if you were to break down that
$4 trillion. So in total, it's not more than $1 billion.
4 trillion at 20%. So that's
2024, 2023.
3 trillion
From 2023.
3 billion US at 0.2. That's 600 million US that came in as FDI into the bank capitalization. Yeah.
Which is just crazy.
So it's in 2022, 2024, 2025.
Sorry, let me give it.
Let's
So hold on, I'll give you the data now. So 2025 total capital importation was 920 FDI, $923 million. The whole of 2025. Right? Yeah, less than $1 billion now. Then 2024 total was $674 million. So that's 1.5 B. Okay. Then 2023 was $377 million.
I mean, we're going in the right direction, though.
So things are trending the right
That's what I'm saying. It's the right trend. Yeah.
It is. Yes.
So
674,
hence
923, and that 923 perhaps includes a lot of the bank recapitalization.
It's okay.
Inflow that we've seen, and then Q1 135.
So if 135, so your run rate,
out of the $10 billion that came in, that's
your run rate on that is 540. If you do,
yeah, if you analyze it.
When is insurance capitalization going to?
We will know by the end of July.
I don't think it's going to. And
so my point is that it's not just.
You can talk to me off camera.
It's an off year.
No. According to how it has started, right? So these things can be episodic.
No, but if you look at what's happening around the world,
I mean,
do you think companies
Q on Q was lower in 2026 though, because Q1 2025 it was I don't know what that is. Yeah, $126 million.
Sorry, that's actually very.
Q1 2025 well, it's still slightly higher. Versus $135 million, but it's just lower quarter on quarter. 2024 Q4 2024, 2025 versus
Q1 2024.
Yeah. Because Q4 was $357 million.
Probably when people were wrapping up
was $135 million.
Remember what we even said that the last GDP conversation. We're looking at year on year.
Yeah.
We saw the economic activity in Q1 the previous year.
Yeah.
Then we saw the economic activity of Q1 this year. And I'm saying, let's be real. Compare the economic activity of that time and the economic activity of this Q1. Just from the simple eye test, are you telling me that we didn't grow at least 10 times economic activity between? That was
10
the time.
times?
No.
Adjusted for inflation, bro.
Wait, that particular period was the massive cash crunch. In fact, that I think the
Are you
only
speaking on
thing
2023?
Cash flow was 2023.
No,
That's 2023 now.
Wait,
Which cash crunch are you talking about now?
no, now. We're talking
drink water.
Wait, we're talking about
Cash crunch was 2023. That's not redesign.
Our 3.8. No, not the cash crunch. Sorry, that was not cash crunch in terms of we couldn't find money.
Okay, things are really tough.
Things were really tough.
Yeah. 2024 Q1 now.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm saying
2025 Q1
I
as well,
test
yeah?
2020 Q1 to
24.
Q1. You are telling me that the number of things that were happening didn't even give you 1 full basis point in terms of we know how things were at that particular point.
I think Tunji, you're looking at things from your own perspective.
No, now.
Are we not serious? Tunji's going to argue with you on this.
Nigeria?
Right. Tunji's looking at things from his own perspective.
If I was to look at it,
Even if I say 10x, I'm like,
exactly, like
he's looking at his own numbers.
His own numbers, right?
Tunji has gone 10x. Like,
No, Tunji is great
like
now.
2
Tunji
years,
is
yeah,
grand,
10x.
right?
He's done 10x.
No, and I'm saying that.
So he thinks everybody has done 10x.
Yeah. If I'm speaking with an Ayokunle who's growing his balance sheet, right? I'm speaking with you. You're growing your customer base and what you have as AUM. Yeah, Ugo Dre and what he's doing. Like if we sat around this table, it's easy to come to the conclusion that all is well.
Yeah.
But all is not well. Like it's like a duck at the top of the lagoon, right? That seems is all calm, but it's flapping aggressively. Right? That's how this economy is. And we need to understand that calm, we need to make it real because it's not trickling down to the rest of the economy.
I agree.
Yeah.
That we cannot.
I think we can't disagree. I think we've shared that several times here. And what we tend to always say is that even if you look at the GDP numbers, the people that seem to be benefiting is G.
Yeah.
You know, we had this.
Yeah,
we had
C isn't. Yeah, because government is benefiting because you're seeing increased FAC allocation. They're borrowing at crazy interest rates.
They're paying less subsidies.
Paying less subsidies. So they have increase in revenue. Tax revenues are going up. Investors are smiling to the bank. Equity markets are doing very well. They're getting sweet
dividends.
Not even dividend. Bond yields are high for them, especially risk-free bond yields, so they are doing well. So investors are okay. Real estate prices going up, but consumers,
parabolic.
consumers,
And that's what the problem is.
consumers,
That's what the big problem.
and that's what makes us GDP. So long as that C
is
like
yeah,
it's been milked.
Major struggle.
So at some point, that thing is going to break, right?
That's the problem. It's been milked.
And thank you for
I mean,
this
what
point.
do you mean it's going to break to the point of a civil unrest or?
Well, it breaks, right? If you look at with behavioral finance, law of reflexivity, what John Charles talks about, right? Where you have your price going up and then you have your valuation catching up, right? It also works the other way around. You have the rate of return that's going up, but in the bottom of it, in the foundation of it, the consumer is struggling. Right, and don't forget the consumer is what feeds into that rate of return. Right, so there's a few ladders, but I'm just talking about that rate of return is fed by the consumers. So at some point, if the consumer doesn't, the law of reflexivity tells you that rate of return breaks. And
So are we saying that it's worse on the streets in Q1 this year than it was Q1 the previous year?
You know what I'm going to
Why
say,
does that matter?
Tunji, none of us on
why
this
does that
table,
really matter? Like,
none of us on this table can speak with
Tunji, it's
conviction
worse.
about the streets. But
Tunji,
if I was
I
to
am
take
telling
a
you
bet,
that it is worse. Let me
it
give you
is
an
worse.
example. It is worse. I'll give you an example. I mean, people might yab me for
Tunji,
this.
I think it's worse.
Yesterday, I was on my way home, and I felt like buying. I felt like eating shawarma.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, listen, I felt like eating shawarma. So,
But I'm worried.
I couldn't get it because I was tired to drive to where I could get it and was patient. And then I saw plantain. And I decided to buy a bunch of plantain, which I haven't bought in about a year or so myself. And then my head was
1,000 something.
was around, maybe like 3K,
No, it's 5K.
4K or so. It's 8K.
Don't say when by post.
It's 8K.
Of course.
I am telling last year I still bought it.
It was
I'm pretty
2.5.
sure for like
It was 2.5.
4 5K. So don't tell me things like you can't tell me
Let's slow down.
it's 8K.
Let's slow down.
So you can't tell me that things are better.
I think.
So that's what I'm trying to understand. What is this guy saying?
We'll wait first. Should
we go on? There are a lot more things I can tell you.
Buy the plantain from. I knew this was what was going to happen.
That are going to come to
It
you.
was that. So the truth about that conundrum is that we, and I think somebody mentioned it here, we have an aging population.
Yeah.
So a lot of those people, you were young, they were children, but they're now into their preteens and teens now. So what you're seeing a lot more on the streets is those children that were scared to come to the streets that are now teenagers. This is something that is structural that the government should tackle from a nation building perspective. It's not something we can fix, right? So seeing a lot more of them, it should not be seen from the fact that it is just more poverty pushing them out. They were already in the suburbs. They've just been pushed out because now they are bolder, they are older, they're able to come to the streets.
Poverty is where what?
Tunji, economics is very
economics.
Try your own book.
Let's hear. This is a buyish-sellish argument. So let's hear it. Let's hear you sell it.
There are people that have skills.
No, let's hear him explain.
skills. And
There's one thing I don't underrate him.
turn to beggars practically.
No, let's hear him.
No. I do see that. I do see that.
Yeah, but let's listen to Tunji.
I've lived on that stretch for a very long time. I've lived on that stretch.
But look at you now.
I've seen a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them grow.
Well,
Yeah. That did not register until 2 clicks out. Oh my God.
anyway, go on.
I've lived on that stretch for a very long time. So I've seen a lot of those kids grow, right? So a lot of them, you saw them when they were like 6, 7. Now they're 18, 14. You know, they are now the ones running the streets, right? And it happens in every climb that there's no, you know, but it is not a thing that poverty or not poverty or, you know, money or no money can fix. It's a nation building because it's not just giving them money that fixes it. You need to, first of all, engage them,
Provide
take them to the
jobs,
street.
right?
So it's a nation building fix. Yeah, and there are a lot. There are a lot more. It's not just that access. We have a lot of those children that were 6, 7, 8 that are now teenagers that are now looking for engagement.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. It doesn't directly engage Ugo Dre's banana plantain conversation. Now I'm going back to the plantain conversation. Wait now. Where did you buy the plantain from?
Lekki.
Where? Exactly.
I don't understand. What does No, on the road, on my way home, on the road now.
Where now? You know, get name.
Akim Dixon here.
No, Tunji, but what's your point?
Like, that's what I'm trying to understand.
I'm not saying that prices are not high. I'm not saying prices are not
expensive there.
I'm not saying prices are not high. First of all, there's been a massive disconnect between when he bought plantain last time and when he bought now. Then the second thing is that he now chose to go and buy it at Akim Dixon.
But he bought from the same place.
What has that got to do with
anything? You know the plantain guy at Akim Dixon. He don't only sells plantain. You know Akim Dixon.
You're missing the point. I always buy my plantain on Akim Dixon.
When did you buy it?
Last year, I told you I bought it last year for less than 5K.
Let's get to this.
So whether it's in my job, I buy it or not,
I want to give a real example because you know these things can seem theoretical. We have nannies at home.
Yeah.
One goes off every week, so at least there's always one over the weekend.
And you have more than one.
O'Shea, big boy.
I have very young kids. That's my excuse, and I stick with it.
Bro, I was like, that's true, man.
And I bet they are confused.
I refuse to comment. Now, the point is, nannies are not going home as often as they would. So I said, what happened?
Yo, lolly money.
Why are you not going home?
No, attacked him.
You know what? Literally, one is cost of transport to go home, and they're getting billed more when they go home. So they want to stay away to reduce their cost of transport, and then
because they also get where to eat.
And I think to your point, I just got a driver, and I think I had a 4 or 5 month lag, and everybody I was interviewing was asking for accommodation.
Yeah.
Everybody. So it tells you they want to cut out that daily.
That commute. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Into their
disposable income.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a tough argument to think that the sea is not getting pummeled in this economy.
No.
It is
on all fronts.
And it's not inconceivable because you would expect that where you do a lot of reforms that has taken away a lot of subsidies, you're more market oriented, it's bound to happen, right? And that is why in most advanced economies, there's a reason why it's expensive to get a nanny abroad, or why it's expensive to get a driver abroad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, no pun intended, no shades thrown, but there's a reason why. Because the income level for things like that is high, right? The income level is high. So yeah, because those things are luxuries in those places, because they're the market economy. And so they found a way to ensure that as tough as that economy is, even you with your wealth, you know, you would also have to pay through your nose to get some
the
get some
extra,
kind of extra comfort.
comfort.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Labor here is cheap.
So labor here is pretty cheap.
absolutely.
And that's
Human capital.
and that brings
Capital
us-
is cheap
and that's-
on the average here.
and that's that wages issue. That's that wage issue we talk about here sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think we said it. And we said I think it's Arnold that sometimes to say that maybe we're not paying enough.
We're not.
Yeah.
I think wages have stayed very stagnant.
So what triggers it then? What triggers it?
I
So
think-
because with the kind of population we have,
I
is
think
there ever going to be a time
I
where
think you need to
where you want to pay enough wages?
you need to redefine.
Is that not this market?
Yeah, but what market? No
It's a
market.
wage
No,
market.
no market wants
labor
to
market.
pay properly. I don't know if anyone saw the analysis someone did on how much as a share of revenues or as a share of profits that Nigerian companies pay their staff.
Ballpark is usually 20%
No,
or less.
it's about 6 to 8%.
Nah,
Meanwhile,
I don't know where they
Is
get
that,
that data from.
No.
that
I don't know who
a
did
mix
that
of
data
sectors
though.
or is sector specific?
And it can't be share of
Across-
profit. It has to be share of revenue.
No, share of revenues, yeah.
Share
But
of
if
revenue,
you compared it to on the average in the US and the UK, there is about 20 to 25%.
Yeah, but that's because most of our cost is different. Our cost dynamics is different. So you're spending more on power, you're spending more on cost of
Transportation.
production, transportation. So there's a lot more spend.
Feeding, yeah.
Yeah. So that's also. a
you know
problem.
what?
But I get the.
I'm going to go and do research on this.
But I get the point. But anyway, let's move on.
Yep.
We still want to talk credit, but before that, something else happened in the market during the week that was pretty interesting. And I think we were one of the first to break it, which is Elumelu's announcement as chairman of Seplat. And also F Young as a new MD.
It was a long
So
time
just
coming.
did you guys? Was this a surprise to any of you?
I think for me, no. I think I saw. I mean, if you read between the lines, you will have known that was always going to happen.
Yeah.
The moment the deal was announced, I think it was December last year.
Yeah.
And then I think Mr. Lumili was appointed to the board of Seplat. I mean, I had always known that it was definitely going to chair the board at some point. What I didn't know was when. So I think the surprise for me was I didn't think it would come this quick.
I mean, well, he's coming in
Is
January.
there going to be a merger?
Is it January?
Is it going to be called Air Seplat?
Are you asking,
So
I don't want to be just
I certainly
asking
think-
leading questions.
So I
I'm
certainly-
making it sound innocent.
I
He's looking for fishing
but
for
I
info.
think typical of transactions of those nature, right?
Yeah.
Where did they get the funding from?
Afrexim.
Afrexim,
FC, and I think the debt
Afrex is really funding a lot of
stuff.
right?
They also do the same thing for Ondo. The debt sits at L, right?
Yeah.
I think at some point there will be some M&A, really.
Yeah.
it's for
I mean,
me,
I was struggling.
It's inevitable.
Ayokunle, you know, we had this conversation yesterday, or when the news came out.
Yeah.
I already knew, you know, this is maybe 3 months ago that Roger was going to leave. And maybe there's one more person on that C-suite who's going to leave. I refuse to mention anybody's
Yeah,
name.
does the name start with E?
Hey, E for easy E. Right?
Okay.
So I think that's going to happen. F. Young's was a matter of time because when he was being hired, it was part of the negotiation that he was going to become the next MD. The politics of the time favored Roger. Roger became MD. So things have normalized. Now, the thing is, if you think about it structurally, about the block owners of Seplat, Petrolin own 13-14%. So they're the second largest shareholders. Petrolin are the guys behind Renaissance Aradale. So they are oil men, they are oil operators, right? You have the Austin Avuru leg, another 9%, right? So that takes about 23%. There's Alan Gray, who have another 5% or so. I've forgotten the last guy, Sustainability Capital or so, another 9-10%.
Yeah.
So if you look at the mix, there's about a 40% block who are they willing to liquidate their positions in a growing franchise? Because you need to be able to get those guys out to be able to then say you want to
Consolidate
have
power.
Yeah, but guys that aren't great sustainable capital don't sell. They're just regular portfolio
Yeah.
investors, right?
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is
Right. So if you got the 409 and you've got 15,
Once they can,
13, 15. I mean, I don't know.
Once
but I
they
know
can-
that
once they
just
can
put
one point
investors,
five,
numbers, yeah.
Is the other guys-
But you're also assuming that Petrolin, that is now generating more cash flow
Yeah.
from Renaissance Aradel, is not going to try to bulk up on their own ownership stake as well.
again, but it's all about the long-term objectives of each person.
Exactly.
You know, because the PE guys are fine to 2x and run with their money, you know, while they are still ahead. Before you people start quarreling, you know, they are really fine, and they will sell to the highest bidder. You know, I'm sure both parties right now will be talking to them like, yeah, are you sure you don't want to sell? Yeah, I could give you this amount, and they'll be like, yeah, I like your deal, but he's giving me 2.1.
You think that heirs and we will see some M&A between heirs and Seplat?
I just think because
I mean, it's
I certainly think
no,
that's
because
gonna happen.
because of
Everything has happened, just the name
Petrolin,
change.
right? Petrolin are 50-year oil and gas operators across this continent, right? They did this Renaissance deal that was not an easy deal to do. If there's anybody that has the capacity to scale up and do that deal, barring, and I'm going to say this, you know, barring the
you're villain.
the political side of things,
Yeah.
right? I think Petrolin have the better chance of closing that transaction.
So you think
If there was to be, if there was,
with Renaissance, is that your point?
it's not impossible.
I don't see that.
With Tony there.
I don't see that.
I do not. You see, and I've taken a totally different view, right?
this is interesting.
Well done for that.
But I'm saying,
I mean, kudos.
what I'm saying is,
That's a very bold view.
in terms of the free cash flow being generated today, and Renaissance Aradel are releasing their numbers June 19th, right? According to the notification. I think we'll have a bit more clarity.
So I think we're at the poly markets. And
So the thing is,
change.
Yeah,
it's always interesting.
It makes sense to do poly markets.
I think that may happen before.
We're working on that
Q1 next
collaboration with some
year.
guys. Yeah.
It's always interesting to look at it from the objectives of every party involved.
100.
You know, because it's interesting to see how aggressive the red guys have been towards this particular
Is he really
project.
the red guy?
It's the red man. It has been towards this project, and basically, you know, for me, it's the aggressive nature of it.
Yeah.
It's the aggressive stance that I'm going to hold this. It's going to be mine. You can't see it. It's coming. It's coming. So, if you are, the other guys are thinking, we want to build a structural, this is more than oil and gas. This is more than a company. This is now legacy. I'm trying to grow my empire. So this is more than anything. I don't know.
What if I told you? What if I told you it's not truly
You
red?
don't think what?
Rare. It's not red.
What if I told you it's not truly red?
It's not truly red. It's orange.
Well, we think it's red. Well, I think it's red.
So what is it? It's not really red. What is
So
it?
there's some green.
There's some green inside.
Green inside.
Yeah, okay. There's some green
Anyway,
inside.
the point is,
When you mix red and green, what do you get?
but I think what's interesting to me is that the TOE deal was about $300 million or so in
Half
December.
a B.
Was it half a B?
Half a B.
Was it half a B? Half a B.
December, yeah.
Half a B.
Yeah. So that stock is worth $800 million there about now. His own
Probably
position.
900.
Yeah, so he's $300 million off
Yeah.
already.
400.
So
actually.
good deal. 6 months.
Did you say good? What's the other one? Great.
Fantastic deal.
Great deal.
And the upsides are still there.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's a lot. You know what? I was flying back last week from London, and I was talking to some expert who leads something for the Seplat guys, and he was just explaining to me how much upside in terms of production still exists.
It's the upsides.
It's incredible.
Oh, no, like, there are many wells.
But what
many-
does this
many-
tell you guys about the others though? I mean, we've talked about Renaissance, we've talked about Aradel. What about Owando? They also have a huge asset as well, don't you think?
Which one?
Anyway, see.
No, please.
Eh?
I don't.
See, Ugo, please. Yeah,
Say again.
Ugo, you have
Oh,
to
anyway.
restrain.
Ajib,
I
are
mean,
you on the
it depends
rating?
on-
The
You're on the
Konogo-
rating then?
Okay, you know what's that thing, Ayo? You know you are the banker, and you guys have three. You have the 3 C's for credit,
Yeah.
right? Character, collateral, and cash flow.
The fact that
And
they
wait,
exist after all the storm.
wait. And the
Doesn't
one,
that say something about
and the
resilience?
one you put at the top of the list is what? Is character. That's all I have to say.
No,
about it.
leave that one, Seth. How much does it produce?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it was about 50.
It's about 50 now.
50.
54.
Yeah.
Barrels per day.
And
Yeah.
plus
Okay.
it's not entirely there. It's a still
There's still
but
there's
they have
still
a lot
the
of upside
Ajib
now.
element
Yeah,
in there.
There's still the Ajib element,
Seplat
so-
is about 120, 140 now.
Seplat is 143.
143.
And I think they probably have the same reserves, the same level of
Yeah,
reserves.
they're on the same. Yeah.
But
Wow.
Anyways, I've told you.
So
my thing.
for you to
I
be
think-
able
I
to
think that's a
generate
serious
for you to be able to
cash flow.
generate that, you have to be able
Serious
to attract the capital to be able to invest to increase your
production.
I
production.
think there's a problem.
Yes, now we've been locked here. This is a
So you won't
this
invest
is
in
this is
Rwanda?
almost a decade plus conversation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Since
And now-
2014.
Exactly, it's been locked there. We've not. If it was going to turn around and expand, we would have done it by now because it's not for lack of seeing the opportunity.
Correct.
Did you get?
But you see, again, I said something that I said, the first C, character. And who wait, is the solution for Owando shareholders?
I hear Owando.
or
I
is
hear
it for-
Owando is poaching seriously right now. Got a lot of people going in
but
there.
that's not new. The question is, are they solving for Owando shareholders or are they solving for OODP?
Oh,
And that's another way to look at it.
Yeah, that's a
Volume is on fire today.
It is on
Let's go to credit. Let's go to credit as we get towards the end of the show.
But before we go, though, one of our own was appointed the MD of FMDQ.
Oh yeah.
So
I hope we get Zil
shout
back
out
on,
to
on,
Zil.
on Drinks and Mics.
Yeah, he was.
Because now
he's
Zil is a
here
big boy.
He's a big boy now. You know, he doesn't
so
talk
we don't know.
to mere mortals like us again.
But Zil is
very, very, very busy.
Zil is not like that. So we'll try and drag Zil here. if
No,
he
no,
has-
but
on his press side.
the signs were already apparent. You know, just before his birthday, you know, he called me aside and showed me his own birthday gift to himself.
Oh.
You know, for his 50th.
yeah.
And I saw it, I was like,
the fact that he showed you, you know, like they're showing themselves. You
understand each other.
understand each other. They'll say, Q1 things. Q1 last year, no, Q1 this year.
No,
10x guy.
But I mean, for someone that has a very close, I mean, I worked in FMDQ.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't a short stint, as you said earlier.
No. It wasn't interesting. I think Coco did a very, very
Yeah,
good job.
Coco is a legend.
He's a legend.
That's the word.
That's the word. He's a legend.
So Zero has a very big shoe.
to fill. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
his job is cut out for him.
But the good thing is that I know if we know
If
things
there's
about
anybody
Also very knowledgeable.
if there was anybody that you want to do this job,
You have to be
Zil.
in
has to
Yeah,
do it in his own way and be
Yeah.
stubborn
Yeah.
enough to do it.
All right, Zil, you got Drinks and Mics endorsement already, so you got big shoes to fill, and let's wish you all the best as
Yes.
you take on the mantle of GMD of FMDQ.
This is the reason why I did send you a message, so just in case you have been counting on the way, that you don't say congratulations. I was planning to say here.
You're wearing at the Nairametrics Capital Market Awards. Zio was there as well.
Yeah, with his signature shades.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, oh.
All right, so we go on. Last week we talked a lot about credit.
Yeah.
And so I got a message. I won't say who sent that message. It was pretty interesting, and it was basically like, in terms of float. So the argument basically was that we're seeing, I don't just trying to figure out who Arnold loves info.
Yeah,
You know what they call Bibu
I love
market?
information.
Arnold is I don't care. I was the kind of guy that he just says what's popping, bro. Well, anyway, yeah. So I think so. We did a report and we noticed that retail deposit for a lot of Nigerian banks actually up double digits. And so if retail deposit for banks are going up, so what's that? So what's the threat that the likes of OP, Moneypoint and Co, could really pose to these banks if they're going up? And then we also talked about credit as well, but pretty interesting. In terms of floats, OP and Moneypoint are heavily trusted at the retail segment.
Correct.
OP is responsible for about 60% of new accounts opened, and there is significant retention of funds as savings. And then they go on, and so we go back and forth. And then I think where I was pretty surprised was in terms of their loan book. And they're saying like for a lot of the fintech banks, their MPL ratio is less than 2%.
How is
that possible?
Let me tell you.
When I read it, I was like,
let me tell you.
Banks, hold on, calm down.
Yeah.
I know you're.
Yeah.
He's in his element.
These are the kind of things you like to hear. But understand that over the years, commercial banks have often told us loan MPL ratio is less than 5%. And
Yes.
when push comes to shove and CBN comes in, and then we start to see whammies, and we start to see
4.5
losses
Single obligor limits.
and all that. You start to see all sorts. But now the fintech narrative is that loan to deposit MPL ratios very low because we understand the data, we see these guys who are on technology and blah blah blah. Is that what you see?
Yeah, I think if you're playing at that BOP level, like the Moneypoint and Co are doing, it's essentially cash flow.
What's BOP level though?
Bottom of pyramid, like traders.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. It's essentially cash flow lending, right? So we don't take deposit as you are alluding to. I think the way we take money is structured money, like fixed income, fixed deposit. Yeah, exactly. So if I can understand and see a customer's cash flow cycle, I could better structure credit. And that way, it's going to be difficult for the guy to default because I know his cash flow cycle, I can predict it. I've seen the trend for over 6 months, 4 months, a year, and it's easy for me. But most times, because of how they've come to the market, right? The Moneypoint, ease of collection, and things like that. The banks don't have that.
Is there only Moneypoint that does credit?
No.
OP does.
No. OP has OCash.
OP does credit, yes.
Yeah.
But again, if you are a microfinance bank as well, that you're heavy on collections, right? You will always see trends, and you can always predict the behavior of a borrower, and you can tailor your lending towards that. But the banks don't have that.
Let me ask.
Because structurally, again,
The banks don't?
yeah, I mean, these guys don't use bank POS anymore. Frankly speaking, everywhere I go to, it's Moneypoint here, it's green here, and that's just what I see every time.
Even
Green is OP.
So even if they use
blue is Moneypoint, green is Moneypoint,
there's a structural way to which these guys, all the payment gateways, at least the fintech-led payment gateways, have been able to do in such a way that they collect. What it happens is that they help you collect funds and then settle to you the next day. So they collect all the funds for you today, bulk it up, and then tomorrow it deposits in your receiving account. The first line of credit that usually happens is that you need part of that money today.
Correct.
You can see it is in your is in
It's
your
in their wallet that you're-
yeah, but you want it now, not tomorrow, so you can collect part of it. You get, you can collect it now. That comes at a tiny fee. You get, and it's like a credit because the money will still settle tomorrow, but it will settle to the place it's supposed to settle to. So that is a first line. But to the conversation around why the banks failed at that level.
Yeah.
Is the oversight, and to me, I can see it clearly. The bank POSs, because my agents have used both sides. So the bank POSs are very rigid in terms of operations. This thing I just explained right now doesn't exist. Maybe it exists now, but when we were using it for our agents, it didn't exist. You get, so that's.
So the banks didn't provide that.
Didn't provide that service.
So
yes,
you must wait for your 24
You must
hours.
wait for your 24 hours.
Yeah.
You get, so all those extra things that the fintechs added to that service layer didn't exist on the bank side. So it was just easy for people to migrate because sometimes I might not need the cash till tomorrow, really. But what if I need it? I need to have the opportunity to be able to draw on it today. And those fintechs give you that. So that is even first line credit. So that one is zero default. You can't default on that because I'm the one holding the money. I'm the one giving you the cash ahead of ground, and I've collected the money already. So that one is even the first line of conversation. But the second one is the one of transaction flow.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most interesting conversations around
What
credit.
transaction flow?
So you use your
And your
POS.
printer
You use my
account,
POS to do transactions
Yeah.
on a daily basis. I see it on a regular basis. Now, the chances that
Oh,
you
I see.
can,
Okay.
you can be
I can actually- I know
you
what
can
you're
be
doing,
a
right?
serious.
Exact flows, yes,
the
sorry,
chances
sorry,
that
yeah, of course.
you can be a serious criminal and wait for me to give you the credit to default is there, but it's very unlikely.
Yeah, of course. So you'll give it as
You
a
get-
percentage of transaction as well.
You understand.
understand
So
that,
if
yeah,
I'm
100%
a merchant, and OPay has a lending app and they do lending on the side. MoneyPoint's own also comes from lending to merchants first of all, then before lending to other people. So if I'm lending to a merchant, I'm lending to a merchant based on the fact that the merchant has done 77 transactions every day for the last 1 year. So I expect that worst case scenario, he will do 70.
Correct.
Right? So I can lend to him based on 35.
Exactly. Which is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
35. So if I 35, I know say bad. I'll be able to, he go pay. You get, so that is one leg. Of course, there are still other angles to it, but I mean that
Yeah, so I want to ask a
well,
question on open
okay.
banking, right? But I think that after Tunji's
somebody's betting heavy on open banking. I was talking to him last week and I was like,
Yeah, there's quite a few guys that are on it. So I
There are a lot
want
of guys on the sidelines betting heavy.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask whether you think open banking changes the credit space in any way, right? So I understand it in terms of open banking in a very simple form, as in I have one app, for example, and I can see all my balances and I can do so many things to promote different bank accounts. But on the lending side,
Yeah,
does it change anything?
I think certainly it should. I mean, would expect
Massively?
that. Yeah, yes, because you when you see balances, from a single point of view, you are able to collect your money, right, in a seamless or in a seamless.
he said it. He nailed it.
But what we have right now with BVN,
and then what right do you have though? Because I mean, GSI has been in existence for a bit.
Yeah,
And they've not even extended GSI. So
what if
I'm saying, if it works in a seamless manner,
for our
then I
viewers
think,
at home, what does GSI mean, please?
global standing
Structure.
I just wanted.
No, we don't do that here. If you don't know, watch coffee
viewers
table.
know, don't worry.
So I'm saying,
No. That means if you owe banking,
I know. It goes across.
That was a shade.
I'm speaking to.
Today is shade. This is shady.
Did what happened now?
Don't worry.
You didn't get that good location.
So I was speaking to a player. They've not given me my allocation. I can you imagine.
So you didn't call boys.
The guy is even. Anyway, let's leave that. We'll talk about it. So there is a player that is creating a product that allows you to not only agree to the global GSI when you are lending. So before you lend, you then agree.
Yes.
to the situation that I am agreeing to.
Should there be
defaults? Don't only charge my
existing
bank A.
Go everywhere.
Go everywhere.
Yeah.
I think that'll be more.
Those things hasn't that existed before?
Not like that. Not like that.
All these
Lydia was doing
personal guarantees and all
No,
those things. Right of setup. In most loan,
GSI in a sense.
so in most
Where
loan,
you give consent to.
No, those
that's what I'm
ones.
saying. In most, I don't know about consumer
Let me
credit.
see.
though,
Let me explain this
But
one.
in most corporate,
Ugodre, you borrow 1K. We check everywhere, 1K no day. But 500 did that side. 300 did this side.
Collect
200 will just the collector.
I'll
That's
go
what I'm
sweep.
saying.
I'll sweep.
That's sweep now.
consumer side is not
That's
there.
sweep.
Yeah, I know.
That's sweep straight.
But that's what
there's a-
GSI is.
there's
Yeah, I think Mono does something like that.
There's a product right now that is pushing to the market with that. Say, shall borrow, except you don't use your.
Okay, so
Not in the banking
okay, so
system.
let's take this a notch higher, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've always been passionate about is the sort of credit that you see where people can
Hey, Jesus.
now go and buy. You can go and buy electronics.
Sorry.
You can furnish your house with credit. And I've said that for fintech, we've seen different layers of fintech. The first layer of fintech we saw was enabling payments,
Yeah.
right? Then, enabling transfers, then merchant payments. So now we're seeing capital formation as well come up with maybe fintechs funding equities and all that.
And even
then the
funding
credit one
the
now,
credit leg now.
the credit leg now is probably going to be a huge one where all you can do is you just go to a POS operator and say, I want to borrow 100K via their
Yeah,
POS.
it already happens.
And that's what I'm saying, the asset explosion.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can do it. No, what I mean happen is you go to Sims or any of these electronic shops or where they sell phones.
Fuani.
Oh, you want to
Fuani
buy
or any of these places, slot. And then you go in there, or even Ebano. You go, you shop all your groceries, and then you go in there, and then do you want to pay cash or do you want credit? So you want credit, and then they give you a POS. And then you type in your information on the POS, and then you pay, and then after 1 month, they go and debit whatever account they see. So is this GSI or this thing you guys are talking open banking, is that going to unlock it?
No. I don't think that's.
So what sort of, because I mean beyond that I don't know what else is credit card.
Credit card.
Yeah, because so the other option would have been credit card. What I've just said then is typically what you do with a credit card.
Yeah.
So and since we don't know whether credit card will work here, we seem to like POS a lot. What else is going to replace credit card?
Cash.
You know, we've always
No, we don't want cash
We've
now.
always had
Who said so?
credit structures.
No, cash. We're talking about
some
credit here, not cash.
buy now,
We're
pay
saying
later.
how do we get
It's
to
a
a
BNPL.
consumer credit side?
Maybe some
that's not
BNPL
credit.
initiative. No, but it's
That's
credit.
not really credit.
No, it's some credit.
What
It's
is it?
credit.
Buy now, pay later is that
Buy now,
you're
pay
paying the
later.
next day.
No.
No.
No. I agree
Can you go
with
to
him.
Fuani
I
and
agree
do
with
buy now,
him.
pay
I
later?
agree with him. But what I'm
They've
saying
always
is,
had it.
We have.
But
Let me
just say this
I'm
very
talking
quickly.
about, can you go
as
now?
far back as 15 years ago.
Yes, I remember. It used to be.
They had
you
that.
give them check. You give them check.
and then you-
Yes, now I'm talking about now.
You must be.
And you must be working in some kind of place. Yeah.
Employed in some.
Hey, that's not what I'm
Shay
saying
people
now.
see.
But no, I think what he's talking about is democratizing.
Shay people
Yes.
see what I always say. They've been rich for a very long time.
That's not what I'm saying.
Me, I never experienced this thing.
But look at you now.
Look at you now.
I never experienced
So that's not
that.
what I'm saying. So I'm talking about, I'm saying
No, but can they collect? So the thing you want them to do with the grocery store,
even
can they do it with
consumers,
cash?
even corporates, can they do it?
No.
Can you go now and say, you know what, I want to build a studio, I'm a content creator, I want to buy all the things that I want on credit.
I know that one is different because
But that's
of the
consumer
structure.
credit now.
No,
Yeah, but
That's what I'm
of
saying.
the structure to it. If I can tell the amount you collect. So, for instance, if I'm the one that provides the collection account that you used to collect money from Meta and the rest, I can provide credit to you now.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes,
so how
yes,
far
yes.
how far away? Maybe a better question is how far away are we from that?
No,
Baba,
I think
we
we're
foul.
almost there. No, we're almost there.
Almost there. We far.
We far.
No,
Let me tell you why I say we are
because
far.
currently now,
Yeah.
we have BNPL solutions.
No, we
Right?
do.
Ourselves, we provide BNPL to finance insurance.
Yes,
Premium.
yes.
Right?
So this thing that he's talking
and
about.
it's not next day. 10 months, 6 months.
Okay.
Right?
Explain, please.
Explain the...
To buy insurance, what does that mean? How do you do BNPL to buy insurance?
So you want to incept an insurance policy, i.e. for your motor or for your health insurance. You go on this insurance platform, Max Samansad, and there are two options, whether you pay in full or you do BNPL. Yeah, at the back of that BNPL, then you see ourselves. We are the one providing the credit.
Why would you give credit to insurance though? I'm trying to understand.
No, if you're trying to insure, if you're trying to insure an asset, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have
the premium.
Yeah, the full premium to pay, right?
They allow for monthly. They allow for
cash
monthly.
flow, exactly. So it's about cash flow management. Insurance is for a year. I'll advance you credit to pay that
you
premium.
actually pay the premium.
Yeah, exactly.
So he
for
pays
6-7 months. And that's it.
But if you can do this,
in health, I can imagine.
The numbers we are seeing.
It's actually a brilliant
health insurance.
Yeah.
If you can do this large numbers, I have one deal for you on that
He
conversation.
can do it.
Please bring it
He
on.
can do it.
Today, in fact, the conversation was happening today.
And so he can do it.
Yeah, bring it on.
Okay.
We already do it. It works.
But the reason why I think it is far is not generally because of the appetite to do it. It is the infrastructure to do it. Right? The infrastructure to do it is in silos. Right? Where for instance, the banking space has a lot of capacity, but has kept that capacity in banking.
Got it.
So somebody that is banking adjacent can't get access to those infrastructure that is in the banking space. And except a banking sector person now creates the product that is forward out-facing, then people like insurance, pensions, retail stores can't directly tie into that banking infrastructure. And unfortunately, we've built probably one of the strongest financial enabling engines in the country, at least from the NIBS perspective. We still have InterSwitch, we have eTransact and the rest, which are all fantastic, but they're all inside the banking sector space, right? You really need to be able to push your way in to be able to. So anybody that is going to build a product like this, right? First of all, we realize that inside the banking space, the appetite to build it is not there.
Correct.
Right? So the person that is going to build it is outside. We agree. Now, the person's first obstacle
is the existing structure.
Is to plug into the existing structure.
So let me ask you. So for the kind of model you mentioned now, what then is a recourse to default?
Cancel your insurance and they refund us.
You cancel the person.
So AXA Mansard will refund you?
Exactly.
If the person cancels the insurance.
What if the
premium?
What after claims or before claims? What if the person has already claimed?
Well, the agreement says refund us the unearned premium.
But so far you haven't had that.
That's what
I'm saying now. Yeah, unearned premium won't matter.
Yeah.
If you already claimed. But again, if you go back to insurance.
But again, what is the critical mass of these things?
I mean, it's all. I mean,
I guess at this point it's probably the earlier days for Ayokunle's company, Berkshire, right? But also, what you're trying to look at is it's a portfolio play.
Yeah.
Right? To say, okay, some would maybe default. To what extent are you going to be exposed on your
MPL
side?
Yeah.
On the claim side, and then you're able to manage that to still run a profitable book at the end of the day.
It's all about cash flow anyways.
Because the average obligor side sits around 500,000 naira. And we're seeing interesting returns from it.
It's all about cash flow.
It's all about.
I mean, I think what's pretty obvious is that there's still a lot of milking from the sea. That's what's going on.
The problem is that the real source of the sea now is a lagoon that is landlocked, and it's see. This is what I'm saying there. Let me tell you. Simple example. In Nigeria, for you to do almost anything, you need to be able to validate one of two numbers: NIN, BVN. Right? For you to validate NIN, you either have to go through, the ideal way is to go to NIMSI, which is the source. But NIMSI is so very difficult to get to. So you have to go through all the other tech companies that are now plugged into NIMSI.
Yeah, the verification partners.
So sometimes, because we're all coming up, sometimes it go day down.
Sometimes.
You know, see, you go, they fight, you know, those things, it happens, right? Now, the general context is that you would now start thinking to yourself, you want uptime. So if I can get directly to NIMSI, NIMSI too far, can I reach NIBS? But by the time you get to NIBS, if I'm not a CBN licensed entity, I can't talk to NIBS.
Yeah.
Sure, you see how disenfranchisement has started happening. Now, NIBS and NIMSI won't talk to me. NIBS won't talk to me.
You're an orphan.
But,
I'm on my own.
but I need to create this product that will serve Nigerians, but needs to be uptime, have
99%
uptime. How now?
All right, guys, we're done 2 hours already. We got to round up. I'm going to touch on each of you one by one for your closing comments. But before I do that, shout out first to our partners, Lead Drop for the drinks that we're having.
We've almost done 2 hours.
Thank you so much, Lead Drop, and of course, Mandilas, also one of our premium partners. By the way, Mandilas gave us a brand new air conditioner. I don't know how you guys.
It feels good.
I was feeling it. I was like, what a difference today.
Extraordinarily cold.
You guys are not used to cold and stuff.
Feels good.
You guys are not used to cold. Tunji is used to cold
I
stuff.
understand why this was.
How
He's
now?
living a cool life.
Yeah, right
How?
now. What was that word he said
Don't
again?
have it too cool.
He said, what was it before? He said, now what's the word he said?
What's that?
I don't say
I forgot it.
He's feeling it now. Yeah, anyway. Right now, he doesn't feel the cold. It's just like cold. So shout out to Manilas, of course, for the support. Of course, the Swan Water. I don't know, for some reason, it looks like most drinks and Mike's guests consume a lot of water.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
You have to stay hydrated.
Ayokunle looks like he's on detox. So I don't know.
Yes,
His glass is actually quite empty.
Yeah,
no,
very
water
empty.
all day.
It's not a drinks and lifestyle, but
No, just for now. He's
for
going
now,
through
right?
a detox.
So we'll leave him. Anyway, finally, guys, 2 hours done. But I wanted to just know what plans you guys have for summer. Right, what are you guys doing this summer? I just want to know.
I'm not going to
curious to know.
disclose my
So I wanna
summer
start with you.
because
Why?
Tunji is going to start to look at me the wrong way.
Wow.
I think I'm
want
going
to
to
summer now.
Now I'm curious.
Now I'm
I
very
don't
curious.
understand. We are not living here.
Like, I don't understand. What's your plan? Like,
See, we know.
This is going to be the best summer ever.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Our summer starts tomorrow.
Oh my
Is
God.
this solo or family or stuff?
Family.
First, with the wife,
Okay.
Oh.
and then we'll go with the family, and then we'll do. There's a lot of things to do.
There's some honeymoon stuff. You can relate.
But I'm not going to give you the
I
details.
can't relate. Good, Jay.
Where are Seplat is?
All right, fantastic. Tunji, what are you doing? Are you Singapore? Or because you tend to go to exotic countries these days.
No. I just have one thing to fulfill. My daughter wants to go to Disneyland.
All right,
Oh, that's
And
lovely.
she's very specific about the Disneyland.
Oh,
So
wow.
Yeah.
it's now to start looking for the money. So we're begging people, please come and borrow us. We need to go to Disneyland. Do you fund Disneyland?
I know what are you doing?
My summer's quiet, man. It's always quiet. I think summer, I was trying to get my son into a JP Morgan work experience. I was trying to get into work experience. Managed to get into a JP Morgan work experience.
Nice.
But the time
That's
is
good.
15, yeah. But the time and it just didn't work. So I'm really working on trying to get him to another firm. But I'll be there whilst he's doing his work experience as well.
Come on, now. What are you doing this summer? That's your summer now. That's all you're gonna be doing this summer.
Being a good dad.
Being a good dad.
I love that. I love that.
I'm very
I don't
boring
escape
person.
with that. Jeez.
Very
That's
versatile.
what you're gonna be doing.
Yeah, I'll be in
But
England.
I want to be a good daughter this summer as well. Good father, right?
So if I take that from you,
What are you doing this
There
summer?
you go.
I'm going to Mykonos with a few of my friends.
Well, what's the date?
Yeah, I'm
Text me, bro.
No.
That's where it's good.
My friends are doing this. Well, anything I'm very
Then
confused.
of course, spending time with family.
Of course, yeah.
And then my first son also
Okay.
is going to boarding school in the UK.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Listen,
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, we're going to be drinking this summer.
A lot of drinking, a lot of drinking, a lot of reading, a lot of
I don't
introspection this
What's the
summer.
drinking that
Go text me.
Sam said,
Let's celebrate Arsenal again.
Sam said,
Please don't bring that.
I just came back from the parade, but let's do it again.
I'll be going for the charity game though.
You know what?
so
Let's do some.
we're gonna win
party soiree as well.
I was going to mention that. I didn't want it.
Your son wanted you to be at the parade, right? The charity shows.
Yeah,
the
that's
charity.
right.
So let's arrange
So
that.
we're doing charity.
When is the charity show?
When is that?
That will be August 8th or something, or August 10th. It's the week before
August.
It's the week before the season starts.
So you be in London?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah.
But don't you realize how expensive these children are? We were not this expensive.
Well, welcome to the
tell you.
new world.
As if my daughter just said the Disneyland and she just said the place. I'm like,
No, the children are not expensive. It's because you have the money.
Because you can afford.
If you can't afford it, you won't slap.
When was your time? Who born you?
You won't slap.
Who born you when you talk?
Just thank God that you can afford it. Anyway, Sam said he's going for the World Cup. I'm surprised none of you guys are going to watch the World Cup.
I don't want to
actually World Cup.
But World Cup starts tomorrow.
Summer's July. When is summer? Summer's July.
Just
July. Because my birthday falls at the beginning of summer.
No.
Right? So I'm having a birthday thing.
If any of you are in America, upper week, Miami, tickets and the house, let me know.
Wait, what?
where?
Tickets to Miami on the house?
No, tickets to a game in Miami.
What game is that?
It's the Uruguay.
I'm not interested.
And then
tickets to Miami was in the house.
No. Tickets for the game.
No,
and then there's
what's that one?
Anyway, guys, that's
Nigeria did not qualify.
Yeah,
this has been Drinks and Mics brought to you by Nairametrics. Of course, I hope you guys have a good time. Thank you so much, Ayo, for being on the show today. Hope you had a good time on the show.
Good.
I hope to see you again, of course, very soon. I know you guys have been saying you've not had buy sell or hold for a bit. We're gonna have buy sell hold very soon. As we get to the end of the first season of this season, I beg your pardon, of Drinks and Mics. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I want to hear your views on the comment section. What are you guys planning this summer? Where you going this summer, and then your views on some of the things that we've disclosed, and want to hear what you guys think about Tunji's opinion, Pelumi's opinion. Calm down now, Alon's opinion as well. Until we do this again next time, do have a profitable week ahead. Bye.